Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari This is the words from the Adi Leela 1.4. Anarpita charim chirat karuna avatirno kalo Samarpayatu munnatva jalarasam sabhaktim shriya Haripurata sundara duti kadamba sandipita Sada hridaya kandare sprutva sachinandana Anarpita charim chirat karuna avtirno kalo Samarpayatu munnatva jalarasam svabhaktim shriya Haripurata sundara duti kadamba sandipita Sada hridaya kandare sprutva sachinandana Anarpita charim chirat karuna avtirna kalo Samarpayatu munnatva jalarasam svabhaktim shriya Haripurata sundara duti kadamba sandipita Sada hridaya kandare sprutva sachinandana Ladies. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This is a very, very beautiful verse as a benediction that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is giving to all the readers of Lord Chaitanya, the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So before we begin, we must see what is his prayer for all of us. Right? So he said, may the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before. The most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. Om Agyan Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaur Tvishaim Namaha Panchatatvakmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakhyam Mi Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ramo Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I'm sure all of us will agree to the fact that we are very fortunate that today we are all getting the great opportunity to be in this very, very beautiful temple of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath, Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu Nityananda Prabhu and Shri Gopalji. I'm sure all of us are very comfortable. I mean, it can't be better than this, right? In such an ornate temple hall, such a wonderful environment. And we are comfortably sitting and hearing Gaur Katha. Can't get better. But why am I saying all these things? I want you all to go back in time 69 years ago. This is March 6th, 1966. Srila Prabhupada writes in his diary, this is March 6th is the day before Gaur Purnima, and March 7th is the Gaur Purnima. This is was written in March 6th. He says, today whole day passed at Monroe Anand Ashram, In the morning, there was Kirtan. It was very much appreciated. Returned from Monroe at 6 p.m. Talked with Mr. Majid of Tehran, interested in spiritual rejuvenation of the world. Took lessons of more than 1.5 hours. Then he writes in asterisk. Today, according to Mayapur Panchika, is the Adivas day of Gaur Purnima. Devotees at Vrindavan and Navadvip are enjoying the celebration. I am here alone without any devotee companion. But I have come here to serve the Lord and not for personal happiness. I am prepared to live in hell even if I am able to serve the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted that this mission should be propagated all over the world, and that is my objective. I do not mind the inconvenience of personally felt. Signed by ACB, AC Bhaktivedanta Swami. Then he writes on Monday, 7th March, fasting observed till 5:30 p.m., broke fast by eating fruits and milk. 7 ladies and gentlemen attended today's meeting. There was topic on Gita and Kirtan. The collection made out of contribution was $28, expenditure $1.15. Today celebrated Lord Chaitanya's birthday in this way. So I personally feel, and I'm sure all of us will agree, that for Gaur Katha, for anything that we hear to go down in our heart, in our consciousness, we need the lubrication of gratitude. A grateful heart is a wonderful lubricant, and in fact the other way, if we do not have a grateful heart, we all know, right? If we want to put things down, you need a lubrication. Without lubrication, it's just too hard. It can cause a lot of damage. So I personally feel that before we even begin and we spend the whole day, or for that matter, we spend the whole life, if we do not have the right gratefulness, here is Srila Prabhupada, that's why I said we are very comfortable sitting in a large temple, very comfortable. But if we are not grateful for what it has taken for all of us to be the way we are right now, all the sacrifices that people have put for all of us to be here today, and it cannot be a bigger sacrifice than Prabhupada sitting all alone, desperately missing devotees of Vrindavan and Mayapur, Navadvip and Vrindavan, missing them like anything. He said, today is the day, everybody must be enjoying, but I'm happy to be alone. And I don't mind going to hell if that is what is required to propagate the mission of Lord Chaitanya. So before we begin, as Gaurang Prabhu very beautifully mentioned, and let us continue the theme of gratefulness to Srila Prabhupada. So let us take a 5 seconds break intensely and thank Prabhupada for spending that moments, that days all alone there in America, so that we are here. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. So today is the most auspicious Gaur Purnima, and in this verse that we just read, that may the son of Mother Sachi be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. But that is required. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is writing the Chaitanya Charitamrita so that Lord Chaitanya can be in our heart. Hridaya Chaitanya. There's a great devotee, Hridaya Chaitanya, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in his heart. And who is this Lord Chaitanya he is explaining? He's just saying that Lord Chaitanya be in your heart, but who is he actually? Anarpita charim chirat karunavatirno kalo samapaitum unno tojala rasam sa bhaktim shriya. Anarpita, something which was never, ever, ever, ever given before. What was that? The pure mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. It's distributing it to all of us. So when we say the pure mellow of devotional service and the mellow of conjugal love, Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually giving us a way of life, which is devotional service, and the goal of dying, which is meditating upon Radha and Krishna. So he's not only giving us the way of life, our life is meant to be engaged 100% in devotional service. And that's exactly what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us, the mellow of devotional service. How to serve Krishna, how to serve Srimati Radharani, how to serve the spiritual master, how to serve the Vaishnavas, how to serve the Dham, how to serve the holy name. Service, service, service. We are and we will remain forever servants. And our duty of life will always remain service and nothing else. We are not aspiring for anything else, and we are not hoping for anything else. And if we are trying, we will not get anything else if we do devotional service. All we will get is to be a servant. And that is what Prabhupada is giving us. Lord Chaitanya is giving us. Devotional service. But through that devotional service, what do we get? It is very lofty, it is very high, something that we cannot even fathom and we can never understand in this situation that we are all in the material world, but it is available to all of us. The mellow of conjugal love. The understanding of the divine relationships of the divine couple, Sri Radha Gopinath. So that is the great fortune that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving all of us. And today is that day of his glorious appearance day, 1486. So what, 539 years ago? Something like that. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. I remember, I was still a kid, 1986, where we celebrate the 500th anniversary. Of course, I was not devotee Rohinandan Prabhu, all of you may be remembering. It was a grand celebrations in Mayapur. I was just seeing my brother celebrating it incognito. I didn't know much about it. So what exactly is this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He appears, and that's why in Sridham Mayapur, we don't just have Gaur Nitai. We have Panchatattva. Panchatattvaatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in 5 tattvas, which is very important to understand. Which are these 5 tattvas before we really even dwell discussing about Gaur Leela? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhakta Rupa. If you see that verse, Panchatattva Makam Krishna Bhakta Rupa. He is Bhakta Rup. He is Krishna, but is coming as a form of a devotee, Bhakta Rupa. Lord Nityananda is Bhakta Swarupakam, is an expansion of a devotee. Then Advaita Acharya is Bhakta Avataram, is the incarnation of a devotee. Srivas Thakur is Bhaktakhyam, he is a pure devotee. And Bhakta Shakti is Gadadhar Pandit. So except for Srivas Thakur, all of them are Vishnu Tattvas, because Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Advaita is Sadashiv, Mahavishnu, and Gadadhar Pandit is Srimati Radharani. And our Srivas Thakur is none other than Narad Muniji. So they have all 4 to come together, and that's why Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj actually composed the Panchatattva mantra. Because he found it so important to take blessings before we do anything. That's why he says, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So all the 5 are there, and then in the end is Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So we are so fortunate that we are part of the Bhakta Vrinda called the Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. The devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of course, we will be hearing his appearance, pastimes in the evening. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, appeared in the holy land of Navadvip. And one of the places which was his favorite place to do very, very special, intense pastimes was Srivas Angan. It was a place of the house which Srivas Thakur was staying, and unlimited pastimes would happen at Srivas Angan. And before we even hear these pastimes, Prabhus, because there'll be so many sweet pastimes we hear, each of these pastimes will be telling us some very, very important principles, important teachings. And I was just hearing a small talk by His Holiness Shivaram Swami Maharaj the other day. And he was mentioning a very important point, that Shravanam we all do. We are sitting doing Shravanam. We are all hearing the glories of Lord Chaitanya. But after Shravanam, if we are not engaged in what is called contemplation or mananam, or dwelling deep into how I will apply this principle in my life, just Shravanam is good. It's of course very powerful. Hearing Krishna Katha is very powerful. Right? But to have the 100% effect, we have to really go deep inside, and after we have heard it, our mananam begins after Shravanam is over. We sit, Machita Madagada Prana Bodhantascha Parasparam Katyantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. Sometimes the mananam could happen amongst devotees. You sit with devotees and you say, let me understand, how do we apply this principle in my life? And we discuss that. Or sometimes, mananam is, okay, this principle is too lofty. Let me just take some guidance on how do I understand this principle. So that's a very important thing to do. So that what we hear is knowledge. But when we do mananam, what we hear becomes applied knowledge. Right? Engineering students, we have physics till the 10th standard or something. But then what we have, when we go to higher levels, we have applied physics. We have applied mathematics. Right? So what is the meaning of that? Okay, what you have learned in physics, till now it is just sin theta, cos theta is equal to tan theta. Fine, ye to ho gaya. We know it. But how to apply that trigonometry into a particular scenario? That's applied physics or applied mathematics. So similarly, very important as devotees to really apply this principle that we hear in our discussions. So we will talk about Srivas Angan. And Srivas Angan was a place which was very famous for very, very special kirtans. And I was trying to understand that it was such a restricted place that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strict that anybody else other than the people that he has selected were only allowed to come there to do kirtan during the daytime. And one day Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, he was very conscious. This is again a lesson which is coming for all of us. He said, why do devotees waste their time? He told devotees, why are you wasting your time? Why you want to sleep in the night? So devotee said, so what do we do? He said, let's have nocturnal kirtans. Why should we waste time? Now, the application of this is not that we are going home and telling our family now, no sleeping. Now, that's not application. But the application of this principle is, do not waste time. Time is very precious. Every moment that you have got is a gift of Krishna to be used in Krishna's service, to be used in Guru's service. Do not waste it. If you are wasting it, you are a biggest sinner. Because you can't waste something which is given you as a gift. The time is a gift. That you have got this much time Now use it. And he said, you waste it. You are a sinner. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, let's use every moment. Let us do night kirtan. I said, wow. And then devotees started doing night kirtan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strict that nobody, he had a list. Nobody else other than there's not a single person. So in the discussion I was seeing Srivas Thakur, we were discussing with few devotees. He said, please allow us to come. Because when something is restricted, the desire of people to go is more intense. If you just have a program, nahi jane kya, chhod yaar kya. You say, what, special entry. Only 100 people. I want to go, right? It just, scarcity gives rise to enthusiasm. When things are scarce, I want to do it, right? So devotees say that, what is happening inside? I want to go inside. Something is happening which I don't want to miss. So they would approach Srivas Thakur and say, please. I say, yaar, nahi yaar. They were discussing, this is all not common people, grihasthas. They said, my mother-in-law approached me. And how can I say no to my mother-in-law? So I allowed her to come to Kirtan once, very silent. And Mahaprabhu Chaitanya was so angry with me. I said, get out, take her out from here. How can she be here? So he said, after that, I'm not taking anyone inside. So even mother-in-law of Srivas Thakur was not allowed. Right? And then this different devotees were approaching him. But let us understand, what was it happening there which was so special? So then I was trying to figure out what was so special in the Kirtan, and then I happened to come across, a beautiful talk by His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, where he was actually explaining in graphic detail of what was the type of Kirtan that happens at Srivas Angan. Because it's not just pure Kirtan, it's not like a Kirtan Mela, It's good, Kirtan Mela is good. But it was not like a Kirtan Mela that way we know about it. It was Prem Kirtan. It was Prem Kirtan. It was Kirtan filled with love. So he was explaining that it was the most charming, intoxicating, enchanting experience to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing. First of all, let us really go and visualize that you are, because none of us are allowed. But now through the Katha, we are all allowed in Srivas Angan. We are all there, right there, to be honest. We are there. And let us imagine you are sitting in behind some very, hiding inside, because we are not otherwise allowed. And you peep outside and say, oh my God, what do you see? You see Lord Gauranga dancing. Udilo aruna purab bhage, dwijamani gauramani jage, bhakata samuha loilo sathe gela nagar braje, thatahi bajal khol, ghana tane jhanjera rol, preme dhala dhala sona ranga, charanai nupura baje. What a beautiful description. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing like a firebrand. How you just go, he was dancing like that. Can you imagine the beauty of Lord Gauranga's dancing? And you get to see it at Srivas Thakur's house. And not just him. Next to him was Nityananda Prabhu. Next to him was Gadadhar Pandit. And all the devotees were dancing. And Radhanath Maharaj explains, it was not about dance. It was not about the mridanga beats. It was not about how you sing. It was all about absorption. This is Kirtan. It's not the way you play mridanga, different tunes and all this. It is good. It is required. It is accomplishment. But it's not about the mridanga beats. It's not about the way you play kartals. It is required. We want to offer the best to Krishna. So we have to be the best mridanga, the best kartals. It's not about the way you sing. It's all about absorption. And then comes the real. If we can try to do that, I tell you, it will be the magic. He said, this kirtan at house of Srivas Thakur, the devotees had no false ego. It was a zero false ego kirtan. Now that is what made the kirtan Prem Kirtan. The time when we do kirtan and we are not expecting anything except for just pleasing the Lord. Now please think, it's a lofty principle. You are sitting doing kirtan, but sometimes, अरे दुखता है. You are attached to the body. अरे ये tune अच्छा नहीं है. You are attached to the tune. अरे मेरे को गाने को क्यों नहीं दिया? Why I am not able to sing? Why only Shivram sings all the time? No, I'm not embarrassing you. I'm just kidding. So this tune is the wrong tune for this time. We are thinking all these things. The moment we think all these things, there is ego. But the only purpose of kirtan, if it is absorption, is only to please the Lord and nothing else. That means it is zero false ego kirtan. That becomes Prem Kirtan. And it is not just one or two people. The whole bunch of devotees there, they're all having zero egos and they're only trying to please Krishna or trying to absorb in the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And it was that absorption, Maharaj explains, which made the devotees dance. It was not the dance by itself. They were just so absorbed that the body was dancing naturally. They were singing naturally. That is Prem Kirtan. And then Maharaj says, it's through the Naam, Rupa, Gun and Leela were revealed. So right there and then, through the Naam, the holy name, because they were so absorbed, the Guna, Rupa and Leela of the Lord were revealed to them. That has to be Prem Kirtan, isn't it? And that is why, my dear friends, that's why we understand why everybody was not allowed there. Because if somebody crazy comes, suppose you are in the ICU, you don't allow people who have not taken bath or you are just unclean. You have to be clean there, right? You have to wear a mask. You have to wear your whatever different, what's that thing called? Aprons and all these things, because this is a very pure place. It has to be the zero virus place. People will get infected. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, do not allow anyone to come because they will infect this place. His exact words he used. That's why it was very, very restricted. That is Prem Kirtan. So next time when we are sitting to do Kirtan, if each one of us try to meditate upon the way Radhanath Maharaj has explained to us what is Prem Kirtan, and we try. It will be very difficult, practically next to impossible. We have to at least try. Let us try today evening when there is Gaur Aarti. Let us try that, at least let me try for at least 1 second if I can do zero false ego Kirtan. 1 second. And then of course we'll again be bombarded by some ego, that's our problem. Right? But if we try, please understand, because that is why this Kirtan as Srivas Angan was non-different than Rasa Leela. How lofty is Rasa Leela? We can never understand what happens in Rasa Leela. We don't want to even try to speak about it. But that is exactly Rasa Leela happening in Gaur Leela, is Kirtan at Srivas Angan's house, Srivas Thakur's house. So, this devotee approached again, one devotee. We all know this famous story, but it will be nice to hear. He said, one very, very staunch Brahmachari approached Lord. I said, mere ko to le le yaar. Please take me at least. This is all people, he's a Grihastha, he is this, he is that. I'm a Brahmachari. You know what? I'm a Brahmachari, and one thing, till the time I can remember, I have not eaten anything except for fruits and milk. That's all I have eaten. And Srivas Thakur is a very soft person. He doesn't like to hold people. He doesn't like this service. Sometimes you want to do this service, right? They have to hold people. Hey, go out. Some people like it. They feel nice with it. It just gives them the pump to say no to people. They like it. It is their nature. Nothing wrong. It is service. But some people it's just so too difficult to say no. Right? But they have to do that service. And every day there would be thousands of requests coming. And Srivas Thakur had to say no to everybody. He said, no, sorry. Nahi yaar, nahi, not possible. But when this Brahmachari said, his heart melted. He said, okay, shh, chup chap. Come 2 hours before, hide behind that particular container and just be inside. Don't even breathe. If you breathe, your sound will come. Shh, don't breathe. Of course, he didn't say that. I'm sorry. This is just my... So he, he stayed there, and then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the devotees came and they started singing. Hari Haraya Namo Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Hari Haraya Namo Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan. So like that they were singing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, sometimes the tunes, they were singing beautiful, and then devotees were dancing, there was a zero false ego kirtan going on, right? And then suddenly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, there's something wrong. He stopped. It was ecstasy, it was complete bliss. And you know, imagine this as a crescendo. And then Mahaprabhu says, stop! There's something wrong. Is there somebody who is not supposed to be here? You know, and Radha Maharaj says very nicely in his class, when the absolute truth asks you something, you cannot lie to the absolute truth. So he asked, is there someone here who is not supposed to be here? Srivas Thakur. Srivas Thakur didn't say, no, he can't because the absolute truth in front of him. So, you know, sometimes we are we learn to answer in a different way. No, there are no blasphemies here, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You know, there are no sense gratifiers here. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, is there anyone else who is not supposed to be here? And then he said, yes, there's a Brahmachari who is here. I said, and it is explained by Vrindavan Das Thakur. I was surprised. But the anger that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had, Nimai Pandit had, by seeing that Brahmachari, I said, the anger of Lord Shiva at the time of destruction is considered to be mild. That much anger Lord Chaitanya had. Now let us analyze it. Why was Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so angry? Because he is giving us the highest, and we cannot expect to get the highest in a compromised situation. He was he said, do you think by drinking only milk you can get what I'm giving you? It's something like this, you know, a very precious gem somebody has, and out of some kindness, the person has given them for you to hold it, okay? And one beggar comes, he said, de de. I said, okay, take it. You feel nice, you take it. But then the person he has paid $1 million for that jewel. He knows the value of that jewel, and you are giving him just like this. So what will that person feel? I said, Teru akal hai? Have you gone nuts? Have you gone crazy? Can you give this jewel to this person? Have you done anything to really deserve that jewel? No, he has not done anything. He doesn't have anything to deserve that jewel. Take it back. That was the anger of Lord Chaitanya. So what has he done to get that, to see me dancing? What has he done to see this pure, zero false ego kirtan? Nothing he has done. You think by drinking milk and fruits he can do this? Get him out. That's how angry he was. I said, you can, and then he speaks very nicely that, you know, you could be a big sannyasi, but if you do not have humility, exactly what Gauranga Prabhu was mentioning in his class, and that is the point that we want to continue, and that humility is the principle. Trinadapi Sunichena is the words that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted us to wear around our neck all the time. And he was strongly saying that. If you think you deserve something which you don't deserve, you are audacious. It's an audacious desire. How dare you deserve it? Or rather, how dare you think you deserve it? He said, what austerity did Gajendra do? He was as an animal. He got the mercy. What austerity did Hanuman as a monkey do? He got the mercy of Ram. What austerity did the gopis do? They got the mercy of Krishna. It is not by austerity that you can get the mercy of the Lord. It is just by humility and a strong desire to please the Lord can you get the mercy. Very clear. Let us all really print it in our minds. No matter whatever you are, whatever big you become, however big you become, you don't get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Never, ever. Don't think by anything that you do materially, you can ever get the mercy of the Lord. You could be a big... Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said it. But even if a person is a sannyasi, completely rejecting and freed from all worldly attachments with strict sadhana, if that person does not surrender to me with devotion, if that person from his heart does not take shelter, I will not favor him. Mahaprabhu's words as it is, quoted by Vrindavan Das Thakur. I will not favor him. He can be a big sannyasi, I don't care. But what is required? Does not surrender with devotion. I will not favor him. But Gajendra surrendered. He was an animal, elephant. Hanumanji, he said. And gopis, what? They didn't do any austerities, but they surrendered to the Lord. Marobi rakhobi jo ichha tohar nitya dasa prityoya adhikar. They surrendered. So then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was revealing this, so what is the lesson we learn from this? As I said, we have to learn a lesson. We definitely need to have two things. Character and competency to do our service. We need character and competency. Character comes through sadhana, and competency comes by doing what is required to be done to do your service properly. But let us be sure that just competency enough of being something big, being a great orator or what, nothing material can ever make us deserve the mercy of the Lord. It's only the character of being a sold out slave of the Lord can we earn the mercy of the Lord. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us. So let us all understand that, yes, I want to be the best I am. If I'm if I'm supposed to be a manager at a company, I want to be the best manager, and whatever is required to be a good manager, I'll do it. But, or for that matter, I want to be the best counselor, or I want to be this or that, whatever service I have, I want to be the best. But by that service, by that designation, by that influence, we can influence the people of the world, but we can never influence Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's why this particular episode of Brahma, that's why it is there, that this milk-drinking Brahmachari, Brahmana, he was a Brahmana, he was a Brahmachari, he was austere, everything. But he said, you don't get it. That is the lesson we learn. And how do we get the mercy of the Lord? Just by surrendering to the Lord. Just by saying, Krishna, I'm happy to do the way you want. And how do you surrender? Surrender appears to be a very lofty principle. But surrender means very simple. It's very simple. Guru mukha padma vakya chitete koryo akya arna koryo mane asha. Very simple. Krishna is very far. But spiritual master is what we relate to. And when you follow the instruction of the spiritual master, you are surrendering. If the spiritual master has told us to chant 16 rounds every day, we chant 16 rounds every day, the best we can. We do our service, whatever. And by that, we are surrendering and we will get love of God, for sure. So then, this Brahmachari obviously was shivering. You can imagine the anger of Lord Chaitanya was so intense. So what happens? He was shivering like a dry leaf. You have seen a dry leaf shiver? A dry leaf is shivering like this. Oh. And slowly, everybody's looking at him, right? So imagine, you are not wanted someplace. And the whole anger is on you. He just walked slowly. But what was his mind status is very important. Many times, when we get cornered like this, when we get insulted like this, when we get, zeroed on, targeted. This gentleman was targeted, right? Full focus on him. The mentality is, hell with you guys here. What do you think? You think, sometimes we feel, right? That is the first thing. ठीक है, नहीं आने का इधर. I don't want to come here. Fine. Yes or no? That's a human way of response. But what is the divine way of response? And that's the way we are supposed to respond. I said, I am so fortunate. I mean, for the few minutes or few hours that I was here, I don't deserve it. That was the mentality of Brahmachari. He said, I didn't deserve it, but still I get to be here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows my heart. He knows how egoistic I am. He rightfully analyzed me. I don't deserve to be here. His heart was only filled with gratitude. And what did I say in the beginning? Gratitude is a beautiful lubricant where mercy can very nicely enter into your heart. If you do not have the lubricant, no way you can get the mercy. So Chaitanya, he was walking the door. In his mind, he was thinking, oh, I am so fortunate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, come back. Come back. And what did he do? He straight put his lotus feet on his head. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki. Mahaprabhu Chaitanya, Nimai Pandit put his lotus feet on his head and he got pure devotional service. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in everyone's heart. He knows the mentality of all of us. We may fool the world, but we cannot fool Mahaprabhu Chaitanya, right? So he just blessed him and he said, may you get the mercy of the Lord. And he got the mercy. And so this is how the Srivas Angan was going on. And the devotees said that, Mahaprabhu Chaitanya, please tell us how should we perfect our life? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I should every day chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And sometimes you chant the Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama also. You all chant. And he told all the devotees to chant, and because he was empowering all the devotees to chant, it was explained that Navadvip was filled. Every place of Navadvip was filled with chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The fathers, the children, the wives, everyone were chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Now please understand that at that time, 1486, or maybe this might be 17 years from 1486. So 1492. Right? So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was 17 years old, 1492. I'm sorry, my math is bad here. What is it? Yeah. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was 17 years old, at that time, this whole of that province of Bengal was ruled by Nawab Hussain Shah. And his guru, I was searching about Nawab Hussain. He was a famous person in history. If you see history books, he was a famous person. And his guru was a person named Chand Kazi. And he was also known by the name Maulana Sirajuddin. That was his name. And he was also named by the pet name Champak. Champak, Maulana Sirajuddin or Chand Kazi. And he was the guru of the king. Can you imagine? I mean, he was not an ordinary person. He was practically the guru. He was guiding the king to be unalloyed devotee of the religion that they were following. And they had complete dominion in that whole province, and it was banned that anybody was not allowed to chant any other names other than the religion that they followed. So devotees were empowered by Lord Chaitanya, and they were chanting Hare Krishna. And then this gentleman, Mr. Chand Kazi, he was walking by Srivas Angan in the daytime. There was kirtan going on. He became very angry. Because when you are a manager and you decide some rules under your dominion, मैंने decide किया, ठीक है? I have decided it. And then somebody breaks that, you feel very angry because you feel people have to listen to me. He felt so angry. So sometimes our anger is disproportionate, and you start, or rather anger is always disproportionate. Anger is never required. It's a horrible thing to have this anger. So anyway, he became so angry that he went inside and he actually caught hold of the mridanga. And he just banged. He didn't know. He said there was some drum. He said, boom. He just broke it. And he gave a very strict, stern instruction. And please understand, Chand Kazi is not the way we try to portray him in our dramas. Some ordinary, somebody with this and that. That's why I gave the background. I mean, I didn't know it until some time that he was actually the guru of Nawab Hussain Shah. So he was the district magistrate, which made him the ruler of the whole province. So he was an extremely powerful person. You cannot just ignore this person. He was the powerful man. He said, no, and then devotees were actually scared. They said, no, we can't really. So they were chanting, but in a very subdued way. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we all know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that today, all of you, and internally, everybody was dying to see Lord Chaitanya dancing. But only few people were allowed. So he told Nityananda Prabhu, he said, today in the afternoon, we will all go on a procession from Mahaprabhu Ghat to Nagariya Ghat to Barakona Ghat to Simulya to the house of Chand Kazi in a procession. I'm sure all of you know all these beautiful ghats that we take bath. Mahaprabhu's personal ghat, then Barakona Ghat, then Madhai Ghat, Nagariya Ghat, and on the way to Simulya. We'll all go on a procession and let us see what this person does. Can he stop our kirtan? And he said that please have thousands of torchlights made. So in the afternoon, everybody went for lunch. They took quick lunch. Vrindavan Das Thakur explains to that details. There's some people didn't even take lunch. They were so ecstatic that, we want to make torchlights. Sometimes when you get service, you don't want to do eating or say, seva, seva, seva. So the children, everybody was making torchlights. And it's explained, Vrindavan Das Thakur explains that each family was making thousands of torchlights. Bamboo sticks, cloth, dip it in oil, and ready for the march. And they said that we will all assemble at my house, which is now, of course, Yoga Peeth. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Advaita Acharya, you will be right front of the kirtan. The first party will be led by you. You will be dancing in that kirtan. Advaita Acharya. And then behind you will be Haridas Thakur, who will be dancing in the kirtan. And right behind you will be Srivas Thakur, who will be dancing in the kirtan. And I will be dancing behind. On my right will be Lord Nityananda. On my left will be Gadadhar Pandit. Just imagine this kirtan, Prabhus. This altar is right here, altar. Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit. They were dancing and they were so, we cannot even explain what sort of kirtan this was. All the houses were empty. They just ran to join the kirtan. And can anyone guess who were the most happy with this? Yeah. The thieves were most happy. Arey, yaar, to maja aa gaya, yaar, koi nahi hai. Nobody's there in the house. The house is all open. Please understand, sometimes when we hear all these things, the gopis running to Krishna's flute, the people running, leaving the houses open. At least ghar to band karo, yaar. The one thing we will do is lock the house. But please understand, none of us have ever experienced the calling of God in our life. That's why we can never have fathomed what happens. This is what happens when the call of God comes, when the call of Krishna comes. You see what happened in the life of Radhanath Swami. When the call came, what happened to his life? We only pray that the call comes to all of us someday. This is exactly what happens. You are not bothered about anything. Nothing material really matters. You just run to that call. The devotees ran to the kirtan. And it is explained by Vrindavan Das Thakur, the thieves, they made a plan. And they said, we will go to each of the houses. They planned. They had a proper meeting. They said, we will inundate each of the houses. And they started running to the houses. And when they heard the kirtan, you might find it a little funny, but it's not funny, it's real. The thieves forgot that they were thieves. Because this kirtan is where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he explained that the evening came. It was dark. Because the whole thing started in the afternoon. They didn't take lunch. They made torchlights. They assembled. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu planned the kirtan. You be here, like this. And they started. By the time it was evening, it was dark. Just imagine the streets of Navadvip. We all know these streets. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the order. 1, 2, 3. Light the torches. It's explained that lit the torches, it was more light than the daylight. That many torches were there. Completely bright. And they all were doing kirtan. And some gurus were chanting Hari Hara, and some gurus were chanting, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in all these places. The first public dancing of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Devotees were like, wow, what is that? They were all like dumbfounded. They were all like, what is this beauty? What is that play in Sajisu Ashtakam? Dancing is described. Nartana Nagara Rajakulam. So he is the best of the dancers. Nartana Nagara Rajakulam. In the best of the dancers when he is dancing on the street. And this is the first dance people are observing. It's something fascinating, right? And then, when people come together and there's unity and power, then you say, abhi dekhta hai kya hota hai, right? Sometimes we feel, abhi, when you are alone, you don't fight. But then few devotees come to you, kya hua? Abhi, chal, ab bol kya hua? That's natural, right? I mean, you want to be, abhi, mere saath log hai, abhi, I have people with me. So devotees were scared of this person. But when there are thousands and millions, it is explained by Vrindavan Thakur that the kirtan was so ecstatic, so wonderful, that hundreds and thousands of demigods descended down in human bodies to be part of kirtan. So it's explained, Ganesh came, Lord Shiva came, Varuna came, and all the demigods started dancing, and you could be dancing with the demigod right here. Because this is attractive. Please understand, this kirtan is so attractive even to the demigods, if we do it right, of course. If we do intense kirtan, which is chanting the names of the Lord, then even the demigods are attracted. And they were dancing here in the kirtan. Vrindavan Thakur explained that thousands of demigods were dancing in kirtan. Only he knew it, I guess. Nobody else knew it. Only he could see it, I guess. There were demigods dancing there. That's how attracted they were to this kirtan. Not easy to attract demigods, right? Otherwise, you have to do something extraordinary to attract them. This must be so extraordinary because they also wanted to see Lord Gauranga dancing. He said, we have never seen him dancing like this. We want to see him dance. So they came, and then, part of the group, they got, as I said, they got the Kshatriya type devotees. We always have Kshatriya type devotees, no? So they were side sounding, kill the Kazi. And they have that tendency, and other people are chanting. And then, Mr. Chand heard that there's a lot of sound there. He said, some marriage procession must be going on. Go and see what's happening. I said, so he sent his messenger. He said, he came back. He said, I don't want to even go there. He says, they all are coming towards your house. And they all are quite angry. So he sent some soldiers. And they were like, oh, how dare they do it? Please understand, these are not ordinary, these are very powerful soldiers of the district magistrate who is the ruler of that area. He sent the soldiers. The soldiers came there and they felt so intimidated. I said, my God, because they all look different, right? The people, they look different than the devotees. So they started covering their areas of difference. The face and everything. Because they didn't want to look different. And they ran back. I said, Hari Bol, I resign. I can't do anything about this here. And then, of course, to cut the story short, I think we have lots to discuss, and let's see. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and he addressed him as uncle, my dear uncle. We're just going a little fast forward. Now you must be wondering why he called him uncle. Because Chand Kazi was Kamsa in Krishna Leela. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, first thing he said, Mama, uncle, my dear uncle. And Nawab Hussain Shah was Jarasandh in Krishna Leela. So Kamsa and Jarasandh came as Chand Kazi and Nawab Hussain Shah. Same propensity. So he said, my dear uncle, why are you scared of me? Why were you hiding? Why you didn't come and receive me? I'm your guest. You are not coming and receiving me. Why you didn't come? I said, no, I saw you are quite angry. So I didn't want to really come to meet when you were angry. And then he said, actually, I am your uncle because I knew your father, Jagannath Mishra. I knew your great-grandfather, Nilambar Chakravarti. We had good relations, and that's why I am your uncle. And sometimes the nephew gets angry, the uncle tolerates. Sometimes the uncle gets angry, the nephew tolerates. What is the problem? Mandoli. But then there was a Shastrarth. There was a discussion. I said, the cow gives you milk. The bull tills your field. What right you have to eat the cow and the bull? You have no right. Mahaprabhu Chaitanya was talking about cow protection. The first Shastra, the first point is how can you devour our mother and father? And of course there was a whole discussion which is a very lengthy discussion. The Chand Kazi, just for his knowledge, he said that there are two sects of our followers. The one sect of our followers who are in the Pravritri Marg and Nivritri Marg of theirs, that the people who are trying to enjoy sense gratification, they are allowed to kill the cows. But those who are the detached type of our followers, they don't eat this thing. So he said people who really eat the cows and bulls, they are those type of people. But anyway, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu convinced him that you should never do this. And he actually got convinced. He became a devotee. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, yeah, one thing I didn't understand. Now that you are a devotee, why you didn't stop my kirtan this time? You just were hiding. Earlier you came in full force and you stopped your kirtan. Why you didn't stop my kirtan? Something happened? So yeah, I want to tell you something really happened. The day I broke the mridanga, that day night I was sleeping and a ferocious looking lion came. I said, Chand! Get up! I got up. I said, I give you a warning this time. You didn't do that bad this time. But I give you a warning. Next time you do anything with my devotees or with my kirtan, and he said, ah! And he showed his nails and he made just a mark. The next time this will go more deeper. And boom! Okay? Don't play around with me and my devotees. And yes. So of course that was Lord Narsinghdev Bhagavan ki. Yeah. And then he opened his whatever he was wearing. He opened it and saw. He showed Lord Chaitanya the marks of Narsinghadev's nails. Over there, I said, that's why I was very scared to do anything with you guys now after that. But the point is that the Chand Kazi was converted. Why? Again, why did the Lord give him mercy? Because he humbly accepted again. He was not, he said, so what? He said, yeah, you are right. Actually, your teaching is right. I accept what you are saying. And the Lord gave him mercy. To such an extent, he gave him mercy that his samadhi is a pilgrimage place for all of us. We go to that samadhi right now. And Champak tree, which was his pet name, Champak, and Nimai, the neem tree, They grow together as if they were embracing each other. That is a historic Shastrarth which happened historically, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu convinced Chand Kazi. So that's how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw that people were humble, even though you could be the most atrocious person like this person, but if you're humble, you'll get the mercy. But if you're not humble, you could be whatever you are, but you'll never get the mercy. Are you getting the point, please? See, these are all beautiful episodes. How sinful was this person that we're talking about? To somebody bring the mridanga, somebody wanting to kill the devotees, somebody eating flesh of cows for all his life. How sinful. But he got the mercy because he was humble. And then, of course, as we just fast forward the life of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. He took sannyas from Keshav Bharati, from the Bharati Sampradaya, and his name became Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. If you translate it, it becomes Krishna consciousness, that's why Prabhupada called it International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which is nothing but International Society for Krishna Chaitanya, which is Lord Chaitanya. It is devoted to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he got sannyas, and then he was approaching, a long story in between, he was approaching Jagannath Puri. And at Dandabanga Nadi, his danda was broken. He told Nityananda Prabhu, I am very upset with you, I want to go alone. He went alone. He was running, he was in ecstasy. He wanted to see the Lord Jagannath. He was running. As soon as he saw Lord Jagannath, he fainted down. And of course, the other devotees were far, far behind. He fainted down. And there was a very, very respectable person, another person, very special person. His name was Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He was the guru of King Prataparudra. King Prataparudra and Krishna Dev Rai were the only two Hindu kings at that time. Everything else was filled with it was the Islamic Samraj. But these two, Andhra Pradesh, Krishna Dev Vijayanagar Samrajya, and Odisha, were the only two Hindu kings. And of course, I was reading history, even these two Hindu kings were fighting, but then they had a truce. Prataparudra married his sister to Krishna Dev Rai. So we are family now, okay? So no fighting now. So his sister got married to Krishna Dev Rai. Anyway, so Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was the guru of the king, but he was strongly practicing the Shankara philosophy. So he was a hardcore Shankara follower. But when he saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fainting, and the guards were about to just, guards in Jagannath Puri, they said they don't want any disturbance. They were about to take him and throw him aside. They said, stop, bring him to my house. They got him to his house. And then he saw that there was some life remaining, some small filament of cotton was still moving, that there is still some life. And he started doing all the mudras. He was because after all, who is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya? He is Brihaspati. So we are dealing with all sorts of very lofty personalities right here. So Brihaspati, who is the guru of the demigods, who is the guru of the demigods, he started doing all the mudras and all the mantras to really revive Lord Chaitanya, because he knew he was alive. He did for a long time. He was trying to revive him. He knew the science of reviving people who were unconscious. But in the meantime, the devotees came running and they came to know that Mahaprabhu Chaitanya was in the house of Sarvabhauma. And the devotees started intense loud kirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when devotees started doing intense kirtan, the Lord came to immediately consciousness. So again, how do we really attract the Lord? You can use your mudras, you can use your mantras, you can use whatever knowledge you have for the Lord's service. But if you do not add devotion to that, The Lord has nothing to do with it. But a simple Mahamantra chanting with devotion revives the Lord. In this case, revived the Lord. In other, for us, we simply chant Hare Krishna with devotion. The Lord is attracted to us. We don't need something very, very lofty to attract the Lord. So then, he was revived. And naturally, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had a very, very fatherly affection for the Lord. I said, "Yeah, you are a sannyasi." And he asked the devotees, "From where he has taken sannyas from?" I said, "He has taken sannyas from Keshav Bharati." I said, "Bharati is not a very high sannyas level. I will personally make sure that he takes sannyas from the Saraswati Sampradaya. I can reinitiate him." Gopinath Acharya, who was his brother-in-law, who was actually a resident of Navadvip, he knew Lord Chaitanya. He knew the Lord Chaitanya was Swayam Bhagavan, his Channa avatar. He knew it, and he was actually then shifted to Jagannath Puri. He said, "Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, you don't understand. He is the Lord. How can you initiate the Lord?" I said, "What Lord? How can he be the Lord? The Lord is Tri-Yugi. How can there be a Lord in Kali Yuga? Nope, not possible. Don't give me all this emotional stuff to me. I know exactly what to do. I will train him in Vedanta. He needs to listen Vedanta from me. He is a young sannyasi, so beautiful, so attractive. How will he maintain his sannyas without being very strong? I will take care of him." Agyata Sukruti, the power of Agyata Sukruti. The moment his heart softened for the Lord, the moment Prakashananda Saraswati gave a hand to the Lord to help, the power of Agyata Sukruti. Can you imagine this? I will take care of him. Prakashananda Saraswati was also a very, very powerful. He had 40 to 50,000 disciples. Mayavadi sannyasis, disciples. But when the Lord was waiting, I know he was sitting right at the place where they washed their feet. Prakashananda Saraswati offered his hand. "Please, I want to offer the hand." And he took his hand and he got up. A simple act of seva. How powerful is seva? It just opens up your heart for mercy. And matter of, a short while, Prakashananda Saraswati Thakur, Prakashananda Saraswati with his 40 to 50,000 disciples, all became Vaishnava sannyasis. That was the power of seva. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya sat with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he said, "You know what, now sit down and I'm going to tell you Vedanta. Listen to me." I said, "Okay." And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Gauranga Prabhu was very beautifully explaining, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually was saying that, "Please teach me because I need to learn from you. I'm just a new sannyasi. I need to learn I need to get trained to be a nice sannyasi. Please teach me." That was the mood of Lord Chaitanya. He was never saying, "Hey, I know it." Never say that I know it. Because if you know, you know not. If you know not, you know. Right? For those who think they know not. For those who think they know not, they know. That is spiritual way of understanding. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting in front of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He was explaining the Vedanta philosophy 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 days, 6 days, full days. He was just hearing. "Arey bhai, aapko kuch samajh raha hai kuch? Are you understanding something? You are not asked a single question to me. I have been speaking. Have you understood anything?" I said, Mahaprabhu Chaitanya opened up his mouth. When he was asked, he opened his mouth. Similarly, when somebody asks you, you tell. Sometimes people ask you, "It's a barabar hai," but actually you're having a problem. Tell your problem if you have a problem. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "You know what? You have been, telling the Vedanta. The explanation of Vedanta is as brilliant as the sun, but you know what? Your explanation, please understand whom is he speaking to and who is the person receiving it." Never in his life Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had ever heard anybody speaking to him like this. Very respectfully though, but he said, "Your explanations, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya ji, are like a big cloud covering the sun. It's not required such a thing." Again, very important to understand. Now, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya didn't say, "Arey, you are a 24-year-old sannyasi from a Bharati Sampradaya. What do you know? Shut up." What did he say? What did Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya say? He was a royal person. He was not People who are deep, they may not be having the full knowledge, but they are deep. It is seen in their character. And people who are shallow is again seen in their character. You may look very aristocratic, but if you have a shallow character, it is seen by your behavior very soon. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, okay, first time, in his heart he was saying, first time somebody is telling me like this. Okay, now you please give me the explanation. If you know something better, please tell me. He again expressed his desire to learn. He put himself in the lower gradient. Moment he put himself in a low gradient, mercy could flow from the higher gradient to the low gradient. Moment you are on the lower self, mercy flows. Flowing happens only when you put yourself lower, then the higher mercy flows. If you think yourself equal or higher, you will never get the mercy. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, please tell me, what is your explanation? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained the Atmaram verse. Atmaramascha muniyor niragrantha api urukrame kurvanti aitu kim bhakti itiham bhuta gano hari. All different varieties of Atmarams, those who take pleasure in Atma or self-spirit, especially those established in the path of self-realization, though freed from all kinds of material bondage, desire to render unalloyed devotional service unto the personality of Godhead. This means that the Lord possesses transcendental qualities and therefore can attract everyone, including the liberated souls. What he's explaining is, you could be liberated, not be attached to anything, but the Lord can attract you. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, this is the Atmaram verse. So then, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya gave 9 different explanations of the Atmaram verse from his perspective. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, now you please explain this. So he explained on the spot 9 different varieties of explanations. It's explained by our acharyas, explained by in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. After hearing the 9 explanations, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave 18 more explanations, fully filled, turgid with bhakti, without each of the explanation touching the 9 points of Sarvabhauma or his own points. When Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya heard this 18 different explanations, he said, you are the Lord. He got the eureka moment. You are the Lord. You cannot be anything but you are the Lord. And that's where he composed a beautiful verse. Please, my dear friends, these 2 verses are the most important verses for the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shikshartham Eka Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Saridhari Kripam Buddhir Yastam Aham Prapadye. Let me take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, who has descended in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach us real knowledge directly in front of the Lord. He actually composed 100 verses, which is called the Sarvabhauma Sataka. He composed on the spot glorification of Lord Chaitanya. By the way, that also is available if you want to read as a homework. You can read that. It is a beautiful verses glorifying Lord Chaitanya. 100 of them he composed. Like that's brilliance of Brihaspati. And then after some time, he wrote these 2 verses. Let me take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who has descended in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach us real knowledge. His devotional service and detachment from whatever does not foster Krishna consciousness. He has descended because he is the ocean of transcendental mercy. Let me surrender unto his lotus feet. The next verse, it says, let my consciousness, which is like a honeybee, take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Honeybee, take shelter of the lotus feet, who has just now appeared as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach the ancient system of devotional service to himself. This system had almost been lost due to the influence of time. So then, when Lord Chaitanya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was completely convinced that this is the Lord himself, and he completely became a devotee of the Lord. How did Lord Chaitanya knew that he is a Pakka devotee? he could see it, but the next day, as we hear from Chaitanya Charitamrita, the next day Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up early in the morning, he went to have the darshan of Lord Jagannath, and he knocked the door. Tick, tick, tick. And while he was knocking the door, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying what? Krishna, Krishna. So he knocked the door, Krishna, Krishna. He was just, and when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, can you imagine, he got up with the sound of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanting Krishna, Krishna. And how did he respond? He also said, Krishna, Krishna. I said, oh, this is the first thing he's saying. So this again, it is explained by, Shriram Swami was explaining as a purport to this from his side. He said, every devotee, what is the take-home thing we should do? Whenever we get up in the morning, we all get up in the morning, right? There will be only one day when we will not get up. And that we can't do anything about it. Otherwise, we all will get up every morning. Yes or no? Yes. If we get up and we say, Krishna, Krishna, or we remember the Guru, sometimes we get up, hey, late ho gaya. That's how most of the time we get up, right? Alarm snooze kar diya. Japa karne ka. We get up with some, we immediately get into the mode of doing something, right? We get into the action mode. But this is the way to get up. Krishna, Krishna, remembering Krishna, Gauranga, Gauranga, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Gurudev, Gurudev. We get up and then he opened the door. I said, oh, I've got prasad for you. And then, when he became a devotee, he had all the verses to compose, to speak. Then he started composing prayers to Krishna Prasad. I don't know the verse. I don't have it here. So he started composing the verse glorifying Prasad. This Prasad should be honored immediately. Whether it is stale, it is old, it is coming from a very far off place, you should honor Prasad immediately. And he immediately took some Prasad without even brushing his teeth. No, nothing of this sort. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you have become a pakka devotee. Not that devotees eat before brushing the teeth. That's not what we are trying to say. What we are trying to say is that respect is higher than discipline. There is a discipline we all follow, but sometimes when we have to do something which is higher, we break that discipline to give respect. So they said, now you have become a devotee of the Lord, and that's how it is explained by Gopinath Acharya, that he said that, oh, you have finally become a devotee. Your heart, which was like a dry wheat cake. Sometimes we eat cakes, but dry wheat cake means what? Means all the oil is removed. Uska jo cake banta is like a dry. He said, your heart, Sarvabhauma, was like a dry wheat cake. But now, as Gauranga Prabhu said, but rasa came into it. Rasa was given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But immediately, this is again a beautiful lesson we learn. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, no, it was not my doing that I got the mercy. It was because I was connected to you. Because you are a devotee, I got the mercy. If you take the credit, you get the credit, but you lose Krishna. But if you give the credit, you lose the credit, but you get Krishna. This is the lesson for all of us. We all are hungry for credit. And yes, sometimes you get the credit. But what happens in the bargain? You lose Krishna. But you pass on the credit to somebody, you may not get the credit. But it depends what you want in life. You want credit or you want Krishna. So this is, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, actually because of you, he passed on the credit. And that's how it was a proof that he got the mercy of the Lord. So, like that, we have this very, very beautiful pastimes. There's a couple of more beautiful pastimes. But what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to teach us is the principle of humility. When he was at Jagannath Puri, 2 episodes at Jagannath Puri, he very clearly explained he would always stand below the Garud Stamba. Now think of the mentality of the Lord. The Lord is in the mood of a devotee. And he's standing below the Garud Stamba. Why is he standing below the Garud Stamba? I said, for sure the Lord will look at Garuda. And if he looks at Garuda, thoda mere ko bhi dekh lenge. He'll see me also. Now, isn't this all beautiful lessons? We all want to be in the front, right? But the Lord is teaching us. The other time, a old lady just jumped on the Lord's back to see the Lord, to see Lord Jagannath. And Govind said, hey, shh, get down, get down, get down. How can you climb on the Lord? He is the supreme person of God. You are climbing on his body? What sort of offense is that? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reprimanded Govinda. I said, you are a crazy person. Don't stop it. If only I had the eagerness, the way she has to see the Lord. So all this and many, many more pastimes, we really teach us again and again that principle which was so very hallmark of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The hallmark of Gaudiyas is humility. And that's why again and again through different episodes we understand that if we can pray to the Lord, for that to be a humble servant, to really try to get rid of this pride that we have. And the pride that we all want to have, as explained by our acharyas, is the pride of being with Hari Bhaktas. In our Guru Vastak prayers that we sing, Hari Bhakta Sanghan, Kritvaiva Triptim Bhajato Sadaiva, Hari Bhakta Sanghan. That's the pride that we have, the pride of being with Gaudiya Vaishnavas that we all are so fortunate to be with today and henceforth in our lives. So that's the pride of serving Srila Prabhupada, the pride of serving our spiritual master, and the pride of celebrating Gaur Purnima, when the world is getting colored and drunk and intoxicated, and so many things outside. But here we are not even drinking water. But still we look so happy. Yeah, we are. I hope we are all happy, and we are happy because we are pleasing the Lord. I mean, what can be a better feast to the eye than this beautiful darshan that we have got today? And this particular thing that is written on the top is going to happen today evening, when we'll have the full moon of Lord Chaitanya. Today's full moon, Gaur Purnima. And at some point in the world, some place, by the way, today is also eclipse happening. There's a lunar eclipse somewhere in the world. It's not happening in India, but today, some other part of the world, there is lunar eclipse, and today is Gaur Purnima. So, so it is wonderful. So let us fill the world and let us fill our hearts by intense chanting Hare Krishna. As I said, zero false ego kirtan, zero false ego japa, zero false ego bhajans. And if we are in that mood of being a humble servant of the Lord, doing big things but remaining small. Being humble doesn't mean to do small things, but do big things for the Lord, for the pleasure of Guru. Big things, but to remain small. That's what we want to do. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Gurudev ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. So let us have a very ecstatic, whenever we have a chance today evening, for those who are here, let us really wait for that special Gaur Arti. As Maharaj explains all the time, it is the special Gaur Arti of the year. And I hope our organizers, we can organize a very nice organized Gaur Arti where all of us can dance nicely and try to have a zero false ego kirtan. Not possible that, but at least let us all dance in unison and not just be too, this thing. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let us thank His Grace Sridama Prabhu 3 times loudly chanting. So the morning has begun well and we continue our Gaur Purnima celebrations. So now the Kirtan will continue throughout the day, and in the evening at 5 p.m. there will be Vaishnava Bhajans along with Kirtan. At 6 p.m. sharp, the special Gaur Purnima Abhishek will begin. That will be 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then You all know that fast, the fast breaking time is 6:58 p.m. today. The prasad will begin immediately. Then around 7:20 p.m. we will continue with our evening Gaur Purnima Gaur Katha class by His Grace Vrajbihari Prabhu. And then the 8:45 p.m. please come back for the Zero False Ego Kirtan Gaur special Maha Gaur Arti of today. Hare Krishna.